Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About This. You know it's your girl Christine. Welcome to episode number 7. If you're just tuning with me for the first time, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that post notification button. To kick off today's episode, I got my Like a Boss mug, which you guys haven't really seen in a while. And I got a t-shirt by the one and only Downtown World. Eat food and mind your business. Just like in my podcast, which is called Broken Silence Real Talk, which can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Listed Notes, Anchor, and many more. I kick off my episodes with gratitude. So for me today, I'm grateful for my children. I know, shade, but I think it's really fitting for today's episode. Get into just in 2 seconds after I tell you guys what I'm grateful for. The times when our kids annoy us, drive us crazy, you know, and then they do silly things, weird things, you know, like I'll share with you guys what my 6-year-old son did. He took a permanent marker and outlined the grout in my tile on my kitchen floor. I was so mad, but besides being mad, I was like, what made you think to do that? Like, why would you do that? And then I have my daughter, she's almost 2. She just looks at me and I'm like, get down to 3. And I go 1, 2, and she goes 3. And then she says no. And she laughs at you and smiles. Like, she laughs at you like it's a joke. But I'm grateful for them because, you know, I don't really take breaks from being a mom. Like, I don't really get to, you know, ship my kids off, you know, on weekends and stuff like that. So I have them with me a lot. But the times that I do, I'm just like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, I feel alone. Do I sleep? Do I clean? Like, what do I do? I don't know what to do with myself when I don't have my children. So I'm grateful for them. And I think that today's episode, especially, you know, being grateful for them and what today's episode about, and it's called Single Mom, I Think Not. Because I'm going to tell you guys my story, being a single mother. I have 3 beautiful children. I have almost a 12-year-old, a 6-year-old, who is my middle child, and he is legit the definition of what you call a middle child. And I have my beautiful little girl, and she's almost 2 years old. But have you ever like wondered, why is it that I'm a single mom? Is it because I'm not married? I could be in a relationship, but in the law's eyes and the government eyes, I'm still a single mother. And when I see or when I hear other single moms share their story, it's like they're ashamed to say they're a single mom. First of all, I don't let nobody, because being a single mom doesn't mean that I'm less than a mom, if, you know. And a lot of people who claim they're single moms are actually in relationships with people. So it kind of confuses me. So it's time, I think, we take back the narrative and we change how we speak about ourselves. Because whether you're single, married, engaged, whatever it may be, doesn't make you less as a mom just because you're single. So I'm not a single mother. I am a mother. That's it. I have children. I take care of them. I love them unconditionally. I respect them. I try to teach them things. They teach me patience. But I'm not less of a mom because I'm single. And here's something to kind of think about, food for thought. We don't glorify. The only time I see single moms proud to be a single mom is when money's attached to it. And I'm not talking about child support from ballgame. That's a whole. I'm talking about the only time that I see single moms or other people give single moms the credit that they deserve is when it comes to tax time. Because if you have children, obviously your tax return is going to be higher because you have children to care for, right? If you're not married, obviously it's going to be higher. Or baby bonus. So the fact that the only time the government recognizes that, yeah, you're somewhat equal in this society as a single mom is when it comes to taxes and when it comes to child tax. That's the only time that we're viewed as equal in parenthood, which I don't understand. So for me, I'm going to say, no, I'm not a single mother. Yes, I am single, but I'm a mother first. I am a mother who happens to be single. Status doesn't come before who I am as a woman and who I am as a mother. And the way I care for my children does not depend on if I'm single or not. So why should it matter? Does it matter to government? But hey, everything's about money, right? Money talks, so they say. I just wanted to share my story with you guys because everybody's parenting story is different. Everybody's journey is different. Being a mom saved my life. I'll tell you that. You know, I used to be in the streets. I used to hang around the wrong people, you know, in and out of jail when I was a teenager. And I had my son when I was 19. I think he was, I was 19 years old when I had him. And I was living in a shelter. And that was a very pivotal moment in my life. That's where I was able to learn structure, love, support, and I was able to learn what pain was. And I was able to learn that my pain was okay, and my pain wasn't unnoticed and wasn't unheard of. And I think that when we hear and think of the word pain, we try to dismiss it because we don't really want to feel what we feel inside. And I stayed at a place called Rosalie Hall. It's in Scarborough. And my primary worker, and you know, a lot of the other workers in the home, a lot of people kind of refer to it as a shelter. They helped hold me accountable. They helped me grow through accountability. Like, yo, Christene, you're doing a really good job. But hey, if you do this wrong, I'm going to call you out on it. You know, there was one time, I'll tell you guys a funny story. I almost got into a fight with a girl, okay? And it was over chicken. Okay, it was over chicken because she was washing the chicken with dish soap. No word of a lie. And I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't eating that. So her and I got into this debate. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? That's not how you clean chicken. So it got heated and we almost ended up fighting. And my primary worker happened to be there that night. And she goes, Christene, if you lay a hand on her, I will release on you so fast. And I immediately stepped off because I didn't recognize in myself that that's how angry I was getting, to the point that I was going to fight somebody over chicken. Okay? It was pretty what they were doing wrong, but I still had to be accountable for my actions. You know, although she was in my face too, because she was defending that, yeah, dish soap is cool. It cleans bacteria, right? But it doesn't matter what the other person does to you, thinks of you, judges you. You're still accountable for how you react, right? So that's like, you know, one of my stories where I can share with you guys, but it's the fact that she held me accountable. We had this thing where you had like an award for the week for people who had the cleanest room. There was 2 awards, one for the cleanest room and one I forget, I think it was behavior or something. And I won every single week, and I lived there for a year, exactly 1 year. And I learned that love isn't really what you think it is. Love is not abuse. Love is not inconsistency. Love is not trauma. Love is not a label. Love is an action. And I learned that. And I can even share with you guys, when I went to jail in and out my whole teenage years. And I went to jail in Kingston. And the moment I went in there, you know, everybody had like a main CO in a sense, right? It was an all-girls facility. You know, when you walked outside, you had the tall steel fences, everything. So, and my main CO's name was Cheryl. And she looked at me, and the first thing she said to me was, you don't belong in here. I know people who belong in jail, you don't belong in here. And she helped me get my act together, you know? And she did it through accountability. And she did it through helping me recognize what I need to work on within myself, you know? And being a mom, hardest job in the world. It's one of the most rewarding, fulfilling, hard jobs in the world. Especially for those mothers who happen to be single, who are not in relationships, because I'm sorry, I don't get to sleep in if any of my children are sick. I don't get to take a day off of being a mother, you know? I don't get to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna ship you guys off for the day. You're gonna chill with your daddy today, or you're gonna go to your grandparents today, and I'm just gonna do me. I don't really have that, right? So for me, being a mom, it's life-changing. I'll share it with you guys. I don't know if you guys can see this tattoo, but it says, because of you, I'm no longer a prisoner, with my first son's name and his date of birth. And what that means is, for me, is not necessarily being a prisoner when I was in jail, but I was a prisoner of my past. I was a prisoner of my pain, and I was a prisoner of my choices, because I then became to judge myself, you know. Tell people, we talk about slavery and stuff like that, obviously, especially like household. But slavery is also, in this day and age, it can be a mindset, and it can be very degrading towards ourselves, because we hold ourselves to such a high standard. And then when we don't do something, or we don't follow through for ourselves, we beat ourselves up, you know? So I was holding myself captive because of the pain that I endured as a mother who happened to be single. I made bad choices because I didn't know what love was, okay? I had an uncle who molested me for years, okay? I got used to it. And I got used to the pattern of pain, the pattern of abuse, the pattern of not loving myself. And I'm going to share with you guys something from my book, just to kind of help you guys understand where I'm coming from as a mother who's single. Because my narrative is not my status. My narrative is the character, who I am as a person, what I give out to people. I always tell people, you know, just like Nipsey Hussle, the highest human act is to inspire. The highest currency you can give somebody is inspiration, right? So in saying that, I'm going to share with you guys a spoken word that I wrote in my book. It's called Symbolic Past, Embracing Love. And it's in Hidden Truths, Broken Silence, which is my book. It's international. You can get it chapters in Indigo, Walmart, eBay, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Just Google it. It's international. For my e-readers out there, because there's a lot of people who love e-reading. I'm sorry, I'm not one of them, because I love to have a physical copy. I recently put it as an ebook. So for all my e-readers out, you can also purchase your copy too. Just Google it, Hidden Truths, Broken Silence from Christene Lewis, and you can get your copy too. So I'm going to show you guys. I apologize if I'm just reading this out. So as I said, it's called Symbolic Past, Embracing Love. And I wrote this. It took me, I told you guys, it took me 10 years to write this book. And I will share with you guys my publishing story, because there's a lot of hurdles that I had to go through. And being a self-published author, and an international author at that, my journey was really, really tough. And only those who self-published the book, or who are writing a book, or who want to write a book, you guys don't understand. We go through writer's block. We go through people who just want money from us and anything, right? There's so much loopholes about self-publishing. It's just like Instagram, when you have a scammer trying to, you know, do that Cash App foolishness, let's flip money. You don't know what's real from fake, right? So next video, I'll share with you guys my writing story. But for now, I'm gonna read this to you guys. It's called Symbolic Past, Embracing Love. My 2 boys are my life. I'll hold you high, and you're my greatest and most special. I wouldn't truly be your mother if my story was hidden under covers. I would like to say sorry. Sorry for the generation you were brought up in. I'm sorry that respect is now just among friends. Sorry for the days that I couldn't give you what you needed. I know sometimes I took my anger out on you, and I know that's not right. I'm sorry for the nights when you questioned if I loved you. My first, I'm sorry your dad wasn't man enough to be your dad. I feel I failed you, and I cry sometimes, because it's weird. Because your dad's absence makes me glad. I'll let you question him when you're older. I'll prepare you the cold shoulder. I was young and stupid. I was looking for love. I believed that he loved me and cherished me, but instead he gave you a sibling after he cheated on me. I raised you for a bit in a shelter. Changed my life. Never grow up and take things for granted. Always give your hand, sometimes even stretch it. When you have children, always ask for their mother's hand in marriage. Children's stability. I'm sorry if you feel that wasn't me. You were born into something that you never asked for. The hardest feeling is when your heart feels poor. Respect will get you far, so never disrespect an elder. They can tell you what kind of man you are. One of the biggest things that I love to say sorry for is if I ever made you feel as though I loved your brother more. You are my firstborn, my green-eyed bandit, and much more. If I go back and change one thing, it would be my life and the way I handled certain things. I'm still struggling to find the meaning. You are the reason I got out of the street life. I wasn't going to tell you. I was afraid you would judge me. I am so afraid of the upcoming generation. I would never want you to become the old me. Never let your friends tell you where you stand in life. Never let them be the ones who put something in your hand like a knife. If you ever feel lost or out of place, you need to pray to the highest place. Ask God to bring you closer to Him. Without Him, you will always look in the mirror. Never let the devil win. He will drag you. He too was once an angel, but he was thrown out of heaven for his pride. Always know that you can come and talk to me. I'll never lie to you. You can trust me. Never be led astray. The strongest man gets on his knees and prays. Real men shed tears. Never let your pride control your fears. Knowledge is more than important. It helps you grasp and understand the ones that are potent. Think and look outside the box. Never let anyone make you conform to how they think our culture looks. Your neighbor may be white, black, or Chinese, but always remember to greet them how you greet me. Let the media make you believe hate. They keep betraying it. They're the ones that help the government. Everyone's just trying to get paid. I love you, my son. Please forgive me, but I can't say that I am truly woman if I can't show you my true face. My light-skinned baby, my second born, you are truly a blessing. Sometimes I think that I still didn't learn my lesson. I tried to give you your brother, but your dad needed to marry me. He wasn't really our firstborn. We were going through a lot of problems, and we were looking to the wrong people while trying to solve them. Two wrongs don't make a right. You were born in December, and I'm going to tell you the truth about someone whom you could call your twin brother. It was back in 2010 and I got pregnant. I was happy, but the instability and insecurity scared both your father and me. Your dad asked me to have an abortion. I looked at him like the devil and I couldn't trust him. He told me he wanted me to succeed in having a baby right now, then wasn't a need. I blamed him for a very long time. Still a day that I cry. I was 4.5 months pregnant when the procedure took place. I had to put on a brave face. There was a lady there, and it was as if she could read my spirit. I knew in my heart that I didn't want to do it. Since I was so far along, we buried him. The name we gave him was the same as yours. That's why I call him your twin. He's your brother, but he's watching you from the stars. October 2010 was the day he was buried. Every time I go past that intersection, my heart cringes. It's hard to go back to the cemetery. I want you to learn from this. I need you to build before settling down and having a baby. You never know what emotional damage an abortion has. I'm not a murderer. There are days when I have to keep telling myself that. I look at you and your brother and I wonder where he would fit in. An abortion is degrading. They just place you on the table, write down a number, then tell you it's time to change places. They tell you to make sure you're not emotional because that just makes it longer. Every day I regret that I didn't. You are a gem in my life, my son. I'm not afraid because I know exactly how to deal with my pain. The spoken word is a little bit longer, but I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my story, kind of give you the context about it. But as I said, get your copy of Hidden Truths, Broken Silence. It's international, both hard copy and ebook readers. I got enough for all of you guys, you know? So I just wanted to kind of talk to my single mothers out there, you know? What are your thoughts? How do you get through those days where you guys are struggling to cope? Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys want to talk to me through Instagram, it's impact over intention. And before I forget, thank you to those who have registered for my I Am Masterclass. Tickets are now officially sold out. I haven't really been active on Instagram because there's a lot of big projects that I'm working on that I'm so excited to share with you guys. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who registered. Masterclass. It starts March 15th, but the tickets are sold out. If you guys did purchase your ticket, you guys will be getting a link shortly, probably 1 week, March 15th. So I just wanted to say thank you to that. For all my fathers who are also single and they have their children full time, I want to know, how do you guys feel about being labeled a single father, being labeled mother? What do you guys do for yourselves to kind of take time for yourself, embrace yourself, self-care? Because I'm telling you, mental health is important. And just because you are a parent does not mean that your mental health and your self-care doesn't come first. Because if you're not 100% full and you're not a whole vessel, how can we help our children? How can we successfully be there for our children unconditionally if we are not good within ourselves? I just want to know. Some things that I do for myself, as I said, my oldest son is on. I say, okay, you know what? Can you just watch your brother and sister for a second? I just need to go upstairs and shower. And I'll just stand in the shower. I let the water run on me. Most of the time, I set my intentions for the day. Doesn't even matter if it's nighttime. I still set my intentions. Doesn't matter what time it is, you know? Sometimes I go in my car, in my garage, and I just listen to music. Something that I could just get away. Sometimes you just got to reground yourself. It is okay to need a break. And I'm learning that. Like, I may sound like a hypocrite to my friends for saying that because they're always encouraging me, Christene, you need to take a break. You need to slow down. You're taking on too much. But I'm starting to realize it's okay to take a break. It's okay to put yourself first. Because if I don't put myself first, my body is going to start breaking down. You know what they say, stress kills you faster than anything. So I'm starting to kind of get into the regimen. Like, it's okay to take a day off work. It's okay. Sometimes you just need to ground yourself. You know? It's okay to pick up a book and read. It's okay to set boundaries within your kids. Like, okay, guys, I just picked you guys up from daycare. Mommy just finished work. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes before you guys stop. Mommy, can I have a snack? What's for dinner? Mommy, can you it's okay to set boundaries like that. It doesn't make you less of a mom. Doesn't make you less of a dad. It shows your children have feelings. It shows your children vulnerability. And I found that when I'm vulnerable with my children, my children have seen me cry. I won't lie, you know? And I just said, Mommy just needs a minute. You know? I try to do family meetings once a week, kind of just where my children come together and they talk to me and they tell me how their week went, how they are coping as siblings. What is it that they find hard going on in the house? What is it that's easy? What's something we can change as a family? So I found that kind of helps. And I found that not having a schedule, when I'm going to have those meetings, as long as I do it once a week, because when I set a day, like, okay, Wednesday, we're going to have a meeting every single Wednesday. I find that if I'm tired, because you never know what happens in the day, things change. You don't want to set your children up to be like, hey, mommy's not following through or daddy's not following through with what they're saying. So I found that I have an expectation for myself as a mom and myself, you know, a woman and a family woman at that. And before I lose my thought, just because you're a single father or single mother in the society's eyes, doesn't mean that you don't have a family. My children are my family. And just because I'm a quote unquote single mother doesn't mean that I don't have a family. I have a family. So family is who you make it. We need to stop tying marriage to family and engagement to family. You already had a family. You were born into one, right? So we need to stop negative connotations that society or the government has placed on us and stop taking it on as who we are, you know? So again, to all my single parents out there, moms, dads, I salute you guys. I'm with you guys. I stand with you guys. Peace and power. Please leave comments below. What do you guys do for self-care for yourself? I'll just throw this out there. Even the parents who are in healthy relationships, who are in healthy marriages, engagements, so forth. What do you guys do? Because I'm sorry, it is just as hard for parents who are single and parents who are in marriages and healthy relationships. You guys need your me time too. So I want to know, what do you guys do for yourselves? And how does it look different? And I want to know how we can come together within the Let's Talk About This family and help out each other. Give us support. If you guys ever want to reach out to me, you guys can reach me on Instagram, DM me. I love receiving messages from. I just recently got a message from a young woman who just wanted to connect and talk. Sometimes people just need to chit chat and feel empowered. So please, if that's you, if you need it, don't hesitate to message me. My Instagram again is impact over intention. My podcast is Broken Silence Real Talk. You already guys know my YouTube, Christene Lewis. Let's talk about this. And Hidden Truths, Broken Silence. Thank you guys. This is another episode of Let's Talk About This. Peace and power.